Hey, what's up, y'all? Dre back here once again. And I had something on my mind, and I wanted to talk about finding your life purpose. And that's something that's really been bugging me because I'm in my late 30s now. And a lot of times I be thinking to myself, like, dang, do I want to go back to rapping? Because I was a real good rapper. Do I want to go back to boxing? Because I used to box. One of the best because I ain't got that many fights, but I used to box, you know, and or just continue doing entrepreneurship or get on YouTube and actually, talk to the people or show people how to get in good shape because I like to work out. But the thing about it is, it's like it keep changing. I mean, because you know, I'm good at all those things, and I don't know. I wonder if somebody can relate, but sometimes you just get stuck and you be feeling like you leaving something else on the table. I feel like if I go full throttle and being an entrepreneur, like damn, like what if I could have won like the Oscars, or I could get into movie making and things of that sort. And a lot of times you ever just sit and ponder and think like, man, like what do I want? What do I do? You know? And I noticed like ever since I was in my teens, I wanted to be a rapper. Got to my 20s, I wanted to just, go out in the streets and just, just be thugging and rapping again. And boxing. Yep. And I wanted to box. And then it just started, and then it got into just being, getting my CDLs and becoming an entrepreneur and helping people out with creating jobs. And then since I wasn't boxing anymore, I was just thinking like, well, I could get into fitness and start teaching people about how to, stay in shape and how to stay healthy. Plus, my mother, she passed from cancer, so health is definitely it's up there for me. But as you grow, it just seems like every things just be changing. Your priorities change. The things that you're interested in changes. Like it's hard as I don't know what to sit up here and sit down and write like raps like I used to back in the day. Because a lot of stuff like I don't call women bitches no that what I mean, not well, I never really called a woman a bitch to her face, but in my songs I'd say the word bitch. And I stuff like that makes me feel uncomfortable now. And so I would just been thinking like, dang. And then they also have studies where like you got kids that grown up ever since they was little, and they grow up to become great Olympians. And they talk about how how their parents passed that down to them ever since they was little, and that was just something that they did, but they never really like looked on the inside to see like, dang, is this something that I really want to do? And I had to think like, dang, like rapping, getting on the movie screen, being a boxer, a fighter, all that stuff, is that stuff that I really want to do? And I'm thinking like that would be a shame to waste my entire life to dedicate myself to something that I really like don't want to do. It's like it'll be a waste of time. And I just realized a lot of those things that I used to chase, it was just basically identities. So it really wasn't me. It was just certain identities that inspired me in every moment. So when it come down to life purpose, I realize at the end of the day, it's all about what I value, the things that I love, the people that I love and appreciate, and what I want to give back to the world, and also like how I want to be remembered when I pass away, and just try to just try to give that to the world in a creative way. So I that's the type of time that I'm on now, trying my best to basically just open up more, trying my best to, speak from the heart, finding out what's on the inside of me and bring it out. And without caring about what somebody else thinks, without caring about judgment and all that stuff. You know, I ain't gonna lie, now when you have kids, you really start to look at the world different. Like, look, I don't care what nobody thinks. As long as my little baby girl right here looks at me like she loves me, as long as she loves me, I'm fine. But it takes some growth, and it takes some growth for, like Boys in the Hood when Trey was like, "Let me out." He's in the back of the car, let me out. And you know, it takes some courage to sit up there and tell your friends and people that you grew up with, like, hey man, let me out. Let me out. You know? And sometimes you have to do that in order to do what's really true for you and what's really true in your heart. But you know, I didn't want to not going to talk your head off. I'm not used to this, but I'm trying to be used to this now. You know, I want to make this something that I can, you know, do in my spare time and give back to people. You know, who knows? I'm talking to you as if I was talking to like my younger self or a friend of mine. And who knows? Like, you know, who knows? But hey, peace and love to everybody. You know, hope somebody out there. I hope this helps somebody out there, and you can find your life purpose and get some direction, like I'm currently trying to do, trying my best to do. And yeah, you know, tune in for my next video. If you like what I'm saying right here, like, comment, and subscribe, and you know, just say good things to me. I ain't gonna lie, I'm working on myself. I'm working on myself. So I don't. If you're a troll, I can ignore you now. I can ignore you, but I don't know. And look at me caring about what people think again. God damn it. But peace and love, everybody. I'm gone.